Hey, this is the C&D channel. I'm Chris, and this is MMA for you. And I'll be doing my post-fight analysis for Bellator 41. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank our sponsors, GoBusiness123.com, DeMarca Sunglasses in Laguna Beach. Please support your local mom and pop shops, and DeMarcaUSA.com as well. So, some obvious thoughts on Bellator 41. Obviously, is going to be judging. I don't know how someone can award Joe Warren with a 30-27 decision at all. I gave the fight 29-28 to Marcos Galvao. I thought he won the first two rounds. It was pretty decisive. I mean, you got a guy that was stepping takedowns. He took top control. He was kneeing to the body when Warren was initiating the clinch. Warren could not get any takedowns. I mean, I'll get into it, but bad judging. And what goes with a decision like this as well. Let's go get into the main card fights. The first fight of the night saw Daniel Strauss beating Kenny Foster by guillotine choke in the third round. That means that Daniel Strauss is going to fight Patricio Pitbull in the finals. So it's going to be really interesting. And the winner of this fight is going to get Joe Warren. Daniel Strauss, when I saw him, even Kenny Foster, when I saw them, I was like, whoa, man, these guys are big for the weight class. I'm starting to notice in the weight classes that everyone is starting to look one weight division bigger than the last one. I mean, we're talking featherweights here. You're talking about like Tyson Griffin, Joe Stevenson, and Kenny Florian getting into the division now. Daniel Strauss looks huge for the division. When you look at like 155, I mean, you got guys like T-Bow, Shirk, Gallard, Dunham's pretty big. I found Edson Barboza looks pretty big. And then in welterweight, I mean, everyone's just looking bigger. I mean, Nate Marquardt's going down to welterweight to fight another guy that should fight in middleweight, in Anthony Johnson. Going back on track, Daniel Strauss looked good. He definitely has this Guida-esque thing of just pushing forward, relentless wrestling. Not exactly the best technique at times, but he really outworks his opponents and really keeps the fight busy at all times. He's always diving for legs. Kenny Foster looked really good, man. He initiates scrambles if he got taken down. He's not someone he can hold down really well. It seemed like he was just starting to fade a little bit around the third, and Daniel Strauss, he can go for a long time. One thing about Strauss that I find really interesting is that he's so big, and Pitbull though is really big, but like he's really wide. So I got to see how the size factor and the wrestling factor affects Pitbull versus Strauss. So next fight after that was Zach Makovsky winning his non-super fight against Chad Robichaux. Robichaux was fun to watch. I mean, the guy would do cartwheels, spinning moves. I mean, he just went all out. His game plan was just go all out, push forward. The only problem is Makovsky is one tough dude. And man, he would literally throw Robichaux when Robichaux was like doing all these crazy go forward lunging strikes. Makovsky would literally throw him down. I mean, he's already off balance by doing these moves, but it's just funny just seeing this guy get thrown so many times, like just thrown off balance so many times. Like he'd literally just get pushed. Or sometimes he wouldn't even slam him. He'd throw him. Makovsky would throw Robichaux to the ground. He's already off balance as it is. Good win by Makovsky. Took the back in the third round. A lot of third round finishes here. And, went for the ground and pound for the TKO win. Good win for Makovsky. He's a guy that he's like Benavidez or Demetrius Johnson. He should honestly be fine at 125. He does well at 135 just because of the type of fighter he is. But optimally, he looks like a guy that would be even better at 125. But the thing is, and as far as the tournament goes, seeing who he'd fight, I know Joe Warren is gonna try and get into the next Bellator tourney, so that should be interesting. Among other guys, I'd like to see who they get. But good win from Makovsky. He's not this like dominating, feared type of guy, like that I'd see like maybe the Pitbull brothers, the Frere brothers, where they just have these highlight reels that it's like, whoa, this guy can make me, I can be this guy's highlight reel. It's not like that with Makovsky. He just goes forward. He has superior wrestling. Shorter's good because he's quick. Low center of gravity as well. Hard to hold down. So there are benefits for him to be one of the smaller bantamweights. Okay. So next fight after that, if we saw Patricio Pitbull KOing Wilson Hayes. Man, the Pitbull brothers are crazy. I mean, these guys, Bellator's got two special talent here. Patricky and Patricio. I mean, these guys, highlight reel knockouts, and not just that. These guys' jiu-jitsu is really good too. So, they're both in different weight classes, 145, 155, and these guys, I mean, their Muay Thai is just great. Man, Patricio's accuracy. I mean, this guy was just landing rights, and I think some left hooks too, counters. I mean, he was finding everything. Counter punching wise, it was crazy how good this guy is. Hayes, he tried to go with the grappling game. Frere, he went for the body and did it work, man. Around the third round, you see Frere with his hands down, punching this guy, fighting this guy with his hands down. Just like Hayes, by the time the third round came around, he was obviously done, really tired and whatnot, and hands down, got him against the fence and just pounds. I mean, so unanswered blows. They're so accurate, like 7 of them at one, that knocked him out. Is crazy. Patricio's gonna fight Daniel Strauss next. It'll be really interesting. Technique-wise, Patricio has the skills, should have the skills to win this. I am worried about one thing, but it's good in this fight. I didn't see it when he went up against Joe Warren. Patricio seemed a little too content and staying on his back a lot of times, despite his jiu-jitsu pedigree. He just kind of, hold guard. He wouldn't be having an open guard. He wouldn't really try and get up. In this fight, he did. I'm kind of worried about that against Strauss. The thing is, Patricio's his takedown defense is pretty good too. Actually, against Joe Warren, he was defending takedowns. Hayes just could not take this guy down. So he's the full package, man. I actually have Patricio beating Joe Warren in their first time out, and I do see that Strauss presents problems for Pitbull, for sure. I mean, just stylistically, grinder type, really pushes the pace, gets you against the fence. Luckily, Patricio is actually really good against the fence too. He looked really good against the cage, pummeling under, reversing position. Really glad to see that. I gotta wonder what the size factor will be, if any. Like I said, Patricio, I don't think he's as tall as Strauss, but he's a wide guy. Like when I saw him, I was like, dude, this guy, this guy's a big 145er in the way that he's just like muscular, really wide. I actually have Patricio winning, beating Strauss. And like I said, these guys should be going to UFC. I mean, both Patricky and Patricio, these two guys are insanely good. I wish they can, showcase their skills against even they're fighting good guys, but I would really like to see them fight like non-prospects at this time, because these guys definitely show the skills of like top 15 fighters. I mean, these are really good, especially Patricio. Patricio's really good. Okay. And the controversial main event of the evening, as Joe Warren won by unanimous decision against Marcos Galvao. Some people are saying that they think this fight is fixed, and that's not good. It could just be bad judging, but you don't want to have that type of stigma of like, oh, he's Joe Warren, this is a super fight. If he loses, it kind of devalues the bout because he lost in this against this unheralded guy. A lot of people are looking at Zala Frosto and thinking that maybe that was rigged, because maybe they want to market her as their champion. It's just not good to have that type of stigma attached with you as an MMA organization. Bjorn Redmany does not exactly have the best reputation, especially from his boxing days. As it is, he is seen by some to be very shady, and therefore seeing that Joe, people are trying to, they think they see a connection here, and that's not good. That's not good. You don't, as an organization, Bellator's a great organization, but you don't want that type of thing going on. I thought it was pretty clear cut, 29-28, Marcos Galvao. I mean, I don't know what to say. Warren looked really bad. I don't know if it's a weight cut. I think he was very one-dimensional in the way he takes people down. He gets that clinch and just really forces that takedown. He's a smaller guy, which it shouldn't be so much of a problem per se. I think with strikes involved, he just can't get that distance. I mean, you're talking about a guy, he's going for a clinch, all of a sudden he's getting kneed in the body. It's not, it's not like, in wrestling where there's no strikes or anything, I mean, it's just a different thing, as good as his pedigree is, the strikes just add a different layer to that type of wrestling, and how effective it is or non-effective it is in MMA, depending on how you use it. Like I said, he grabbed a clinch, he'd get kneed a lot, grabbing that clinch, a lot of space is being made, he couldn't get his hips in there really. He didn't look that good. I mean, Joe Warren will always be a tough guy. He's a guy that is a 5-rounder type of guy. Like, if this fight went 5 rounds, okay, I'm pretty sure actually Warren would probably win. But, this wasn't a 5-rounder. This is 3-rounder. Galvao won, I think he won the fight. He even had top position. I don't know how a judge sees it at 30-27. It goes back to the problem with judging. Can it be fixed? Probably not. I'd like to tell anyone, if you think you can do a better job, please try and be a judge, MMA judge. Do what you can, Obviously, we're not getting the right people judging. We're not getting monitors. These judges need monitors too. It's a combination of things. It could be something shady. I don't want to really go there, but it could be. I hope not. Let's just hope it's just a judging problem here. 29-28 would have been a little more fair. Unanimous, probably not. Split, okay. I think some people would have been like, okay, unanimous decision. What fight? What fight are these judges watching exactly? So I don't know what to say. It's a really bad stigma to have. Bellator has it really bad. There's Toby Amata, Pat Curran, Zola Fausto versus Jessica Aguilar and Megumi Fujii. Joe Warren versus Patricio Pitbull. Even like Weidman Heron looked pretty. Was a little iffy. Hornbuckle Weidman was kind of iffy. Some of these are close. So I'm just saying, you're getting a lot of these like iffy calls. Don't want too many of those. Some of them, like I said, some of them are close. Some of them you're like, how did this person win though? And that's not good. Okay, and that's pretty much it for my post-fight analysis for Bellator 41. This is MMA for you. And if you have any questions or anything, please leave any comments on the bottom. Or it'd also help if you like this page. That'd be really cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Later.